I think we think so much that living and going through experiences are the things that like shape us. But I don't think that's what it actually is. I think it's not so much that it shapes us as much as it shows us who we already are in those moments. And like who we're deciding to be as we move forward in our lives, based off of our decisions. Because when I think about like environmental structure and environmental circumstances and the way those things affect us as human beings, it's like, yeah, like you went through this, you went through that. It definitely had an impact on you. But to say that it shaped you would be basically taking ownership of that said experience, situation, and allowing it to have this kind of hold on you, whether that's good or bad, but allowing it to have this like attachment to you and your identity. And I think when we do that, we make it harder for ourselves to like truly expand into the possibilities of what and who we could actually be, because the next experience is also going to have an effect on you. It's also going to make you see the world in a certain way, or yourself in a certain way. But the key part of that is that you get to decide what kind of impact it has on you, regardless of the situation. Like, it's kind of crazy, honestly, when you think about it, because there's been so many things in my life that have had this weird, effect on who I am today and how I decide to move forward in my life every single day and the decisions that I make for myself. But if I actually sit and think about the things I've been through and how I've moved through them despite what I actually went through, I kind of wouldn't be the person that I am today. Like I would have allowed my circumstances and my environment to dictate who I was as an individual and how that meant I was going to move forward in my life in whatever aspect that means for myself, you know? So I think we tend to have this weird attachment, and it's not like it's not possible to look at those things and separate yourself from them, because you can, and just like kind of figure out what you've learned through the process. But I just think that it's important to understand and to know, like, within ourselves we have such an ability, a capability, a power, and in order to find that after circumstances that may have been unfortunate, it just shows that you're not allowing your circumstances to shape you as an individual. Like, you're not going to do that. And even as you get older, you have the opportunities and ability to say, this is where I've been, this is what I've been doing, but I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'm done I'm done allowing a space, an environment to shape the way that I take up space in the world, in that environment, in this environment. It does not matter. Because the way that you see yourself and the world has a huge impact on the way you move through it. And I was just thinking about that. Like, I really was. I was just sitting here and that feeling and thought just came over me, and I was like, because I've been going through a lot of changes, a lot of new experiences, and a lot of like going back to the past in my own mind. And I'm like, how did I end up back here? You know, like, why am I back here? And then I'll like go through the process of being like, trying to think it through in a certain way. But then I'm like, but why? Like, it's no longer we're no longer in that moment anymore. And we're no longer in that time. Just let it be, let it be and be in what is now. And that's that. And don't let it shape you. Don't let it turn you into who they thought you should be. Because you know who you are. At the end of the day, you know who you are. And you gotta hold on to that. Hold on to it. I'm just realizing so many things. Like, yeah. The subconscious mind is wild. And I think when you have access to it, it makes a huge difference in the way that you're perceiving yourself. Okay? Not just things outside of yourself, your actual self. Because there's many of you. Many versions of you. And you have to figure out which one you're living from. Are you living from a version of you that no longer exists? Or are you living from a version of you that is now? Period. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. But yeah. Yeah. Thanks for watching the rant. But yeah.